Happy Monday. Welcome to Marketing Monday. And I have a special guest that will be appearing a lot with me, and that's Rachel Stepoway. And she is actually a pro product specialist here at ServiceTitan and has been in the trades her entire life. So we wanted to go ahead and follow up on the webinar that she and her dad did the other day. And I will just let Rachel do the talking. Let the trades talk. So Rachel, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be a part of this community, and thanks for the introduction, Sarah. I worked for my dad officially 6.5 years, but all of my life I've been surrounded by the plumbing industry because that's where he's worked. And I've been at ServiceTitan about 9 months now, and it's just so amazing to get to help so many different contractors across the country. And I want to continue doing that. So I had some really good questions I received after the webinar that I thought was worth sharing the answers to more people. One of the questions was, what kind of customer service qualifying questions should our CSRs use for figuring out what time to schedule someone? Is there any water damage? If yes, then we should prioritize. Also, I recommend forming a relationship with a local water restoration company so you can feed each other leads. They'll always need to clean something up, and when that happens, usually there's a plumbing problem to fix, and vice versa. It can be really healthy to have that good relationship formed so you can count on each other when this happens. Do you have more than one toilet? If they don't and they can't use it, then that's more of a priority than someone that has 2 or more bathrooms and one of them is still usable. Then prioritize emergencies such as a sewage backup or a dead hot water tank over a customer that maybe is interested in a new faucet. We need to worry about the health of our customers, and sewage and a dead hot water tank are a lot more urgent than upgrading a faucet. And then my last suggestion was to ask if the customer is residential or commercial. We should always prioritize our commercial customers because more people may be affected by their issue and they're more likely to need us more often. And we always want to take care of people in the right order and to always go for the greater good as well as we can.
So do you guys dispatch for profits? This is what it kind of sounds like. Like it's not just need and urgency, but really, like, is it, if there is an urgent situation in plumbing, is it dispatching for profits or is it dispatching for urgency? Which one would you choose? You're like, both. I want them all.
Right. Yeah, I want to do both. Wow, it can really, I mean, if you use the specific wording that you literally just want an estimate, then I'm going to go to the commercial emergency that I know we're going to seal the deal on because they have no choice but to address their problem because they have poop backing up in front of their customers or whatever it may be. So I'd probably like to paint myself more altruistic, but dispatch for dollars.
Right. Yeah. Because we're a business, right? Like that is what we do. We run a business, so that makes sense. Also, when it comes to the call center, when plumbing issues happen all the time, they can happen in the middle of the night, right? Mm-hmm. And my question is like, do you have your call center stop at a specific time and then roll to an answering service? And then that, like, what's the process in all of that?
So I'm actually excited that you asked about that because a few years ago, I, with my aunt, built a call center for our enterprise from the ground up, from absolutely nothing, which was only possible because of ServiceTitan. So that was really cool. But we answer the phones from 7 a.m. to, I think it's 10 p.m. I know there were some changes from COVID. But that's in-house in our headquarters, answering for 7 tenants across the Midwest, 7 different Roto-Rooter franchises. We run 24/7 emergency service. We're Roto-Rooter. We're the original drain cleaning company. People expect to be able to count on us when they have an emergency issue. So we'll roll the phones over to nationwide inbound in the evening. And then they'll still be in communication with our on-call technicians to share job information. So we're still servicing. There's just somebody else answering the phone.
And do they act as your brand? Like, did you give them a script that's very branded for each location?
They ask very specific information when you first sign up. So it can be crystal clear what we do, what we don't do, how we treat our customers, what our expectations should be set as. So this recently came up. I don't think that they would lie if a customer flat out asked if they were an answering service, but I think they do a good job at representing our company well.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And so what other questions did you have come up from that webinar?
Sure. So let's see. So I was asked what maximum utilization of ServiceTitan looks like. And that's a tough question because there's so many different things. So obviously I couldn't fit everything, but I wanted to fit the first things that came to mind. It surprises me sometimes when I'm working with customers that they don't have zones set up. So what you can do by utilizing zones in ServiceTitan is maybe organize it by county if you're a multi-county service area. So you know that all calls in this county will have a blue dot, and then all calls in this other county will be a yellow dot, because that's how you program the zones by zip code and city, and you associate a color with it. And that not only helps with some reporting if you want to report by county or zone or area, but also it helps your dispatchers, because when they look at the board, they'll be able to see what color zone each technician is in, and then what color zone each job is in, to make sure that we're not being ridiculous, sending someone from one end of our territory to the other. We're trying to dispatch as smartly as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially in rural areas, right? When you're like, oh, I'm driving for 2 hours to get to someone's house, and then I'm going to go 2 hours the other way. And you're like, wait, we're dispatching for profit at this point.
Yes. Our local branch straight up has Amish country in the area. So you can go from dirt roads and buggies 2 hours south to 2 hours north in a more populated area. So you really do have to be aware of where you're sending all of these people.
Yeah. And your dispatch team it's ran out of the call center as well?
So it's a little complex. So the call center will book the calls and assign them. But for things like a commercial emergency, where we're not going to necessarily give them an exact time, we're going to fit them in as soon as we can because we need to get out there. And at that point, if the call center can't easily determine, we could switch this around, they'll call the office manager for that branch to either pass it on to them to handle, or just to work through it together to figure out what's going to make the most sense for everyone involved.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then, looking into Marketing Pro, of course, I work with that every day, so I can't not comment on that. It's just a great way to reach out to your existing customers and save time outbounding for recurring services, expiring memberships, aging equipment. There really is just so much, and you can get a demo for it for free. And I've just seen so much revenue get driven to companies because of using this, and it's fun to use too.
Yeah, and for plumbing, for plumbing commercial, how would you use Marketing Pro?
So for that, this would depend if you have a backflow certified technician or not, but you can target the recurring service of an annual backflow inspection, which is required by the city or state. And if you don't get it done, they can close you down or fine you. So commercial companies tend to wait until they get that last reminder that's laying down the law that they need to do this. So it could be helpful to give them a message ahead of time so they're not scrambling to get scheduled on the last day that they can before getting fined. Or a lot of those preventative maintenances and even just seasonal tips can be helpful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then let's see. And I also had done a webinar on this. You absolutely need to use estimate templates. That's not something we did until a couple years into it, just because there was so much to absorb by changing 7 different companies over to ServiceTitan. And once we rolled out the estimate templates where you're giving your customers multiple options instead of just one option and not giving them a chance to choose between them, our average tickets went up, our close rate went up because we were taking the time to educate our customers on what options they have and the pros and cons of those, so they understood exactly what value they would get in any of those options.
And did you see that the majority would go with one of the options, like good, better, or best? Like
better or best were the ones that get picked the most, because people they don't want to be too cheap, but they don't necessarily want to be too fancy. So they're either going to go with what they think the average will go with, or they'll get the premium longer term solution. Oh, and it's important that for giving good, better, and best options, if appropriate, give different warranties, because if they're paying more for a better option, then they should have a better warranty with that. And we fit all of that into our task descriptions, and we've really built a lot of value, because one thing that would happen is, say I live with a friend and I paid for some sort of service I had done, and it's just literally one sentence for the task description. My friend isn't going to see the value in the $1,000 I spent, because it's just a sentence. You need them to be able to see, even though they weren't there, how much you did and why it mattered. And I think having more value built into the tasks themselves really went a long way for us. And it also keeps us accountable to make sure that the technicians are doing everything that we expect them to do, because it's right there saying that they will. And adding in the pictures and videos to show, like, this is what it's going to look like if you just poke a hole with a cable through your blockage. This is what it will look like if you actually hydrojet that pipe out. And it's so helpful. And the customers love it, because you're not just forcing one option on them, determining what's best for them without giving them a chance.
That's a good point. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. It provides value, right? And it's marketing is what it is. Everything in ServiceTitan is really marketing. Everyone has a conversion opportunity between the marketing piece that's delivered to the call center that's booking the call, to the technician that's running the call, to the salesperson if there is one, and then all the way to install, right? Or if the salesperson is installed, there's opportunity and conversion and to add in more layers of marketing. And the good, better, best, it just makes sense.
It really does. Absolutely.
Did you have any other questions that?
Let me go back to that. I don't know where that window went.
It's okay. Remember, this is just recorded, so we can.
Right.
You're like, right, I got this.
Warranties. Okay. So another one of the questions that I was approached with was, how do you determine what your warranty on service work should be? And I know that there can be so many variables that may change this, but I gave just a general idea of what rule of thumbs we use. So for a residential drain cleaning, if we basically do just the good option, you'll have a 3-month warranty. So this ties with what I was just saying. And then if you do the better option, you'll get a 6-month warranty. And then if you do the best option, which would combine both technologies, you would get a full 1-year warranty. But when it comes to commercial drain cleaning, you need to keep in mind that the people using those drains don't necessarily care about those drains. So they don't care what they flush in there. It doesn't matter if you have a sign about sanitary things or flushing paper towels. If they don't have to pay the bills, they're going to flush whatever they want to flush. So we give less of a warranty on commercial drains, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And we can't just come out every other week because someone's flushing diapers and handle that under warranty, because that's considered line abuse. And then when it comes to plumbing repairs or replacements, so that's usually about a year warranty on workmanship. But the big thing is the difference in what option they choose with. And as the option gets better, the warranty should get better too.
Yeah, that makes sense. And warranties, there are callbacks with no opportunities for plumbing, correct? And so they're not expected to make additional revenue off of a warranty call. It's just, and the warranty, sending a person out on the warranty call is built into the prices, just in a, right? So it doesn't hit that bottom line of excess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. And the best thing that I really want to hear is the worst thing that you pulled out of a toilet.
I can't say what I would like to say, so I'm going to say 3 piranhas. Our technician at our Canton branch, John Gagan, he literally pulled 3 piranhas out of a toilet. They're too big to flush in a toilet. Please don't do this at home.
That is the best tip that I think you could ever give anyone is if you have piranhas, please do not flush them down your toilet to get rid of them. First off, why do you have piranhas that you would think about flushing down a toilet is my first thought, right? Okay, would I, as a consumer, like piranhas are cool, I want sharks and stuff, but like, am I going to be able to take care of them? I don't know. And obviously this guy was like, no, or girl was like, no, I can't take care of it. It's going down the toilet. Like, it's not a goldfish. Like, what are you doing? Like, and it's not dead. Were they dead?
That I don't remember. So I feel like they might not have, I don't know. And I kind of don't want to find out.
Right. Right. And like, please, John, tell me about this fishing incident that you had, because what you did today was fish. You went for a fish.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what we do. Yeah, we get calls for people that have animals stuck in pipes or for jewelry lost down a drain.
Yeah.
We basically go fishing.
Yeah. Make a blog about those weird searches that you don't think are out there, but are out there. Like I said, you know, what happens when you flush a rubber ducky down the toilet and you just, as a mom, don't want to go in there and dig? Yeah, I'm going to need a blog for that to help me. And it's probably just going to make me laugh and move on and call you, because I know that I don't want to stick my hand down the toilet to get a rubber ducky.
Yeah.
And that's just facts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really appreciate your time today, Rachel. As always, it's a joy to be around you, to see you, to hear you. And I totally appreciate it. And we'll be on more calls together. And I'm super excited about our partnership and our friendship. So thank you for everything.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I absolutely adore working with you. So thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to more of these.
Awesome.